Hey guys, Chris here from Square One. I'm joined by Cam again, and today we're going to be going through some run-specific mobility, activations and strength for you guys to complete at home. Now, if you're not a runner, these ones are still great for you to do for just some overall strength of the lower body. We're going to get into it now. So the first one, what you're going to need is your foam roller. You're going to have that on the ground. We're going to work through the hamstrings to begin with. Now, the hamstrings, very common that they get tight, and Cam's going to here start by working just through one with his other leg on the ground. He's going to go through about 10 passes. He's then, after about 10, he's going to then pop one leg over the other, and he's going to use the pressure of his other leg to start to press down on the foam roller there. So he's working through. If he finds any tight areas, he can then work in and out in a localized position as well, to then start to work through any of those trigger points or tight areas. So here, Cam's starting to press down into his bottom leg with the top leg, finding again any of those areas that you might feel as restricted. Now, it's very common as runners that you do get tightness, or you might feel up into the proximal hemi when you are running. Foam rolling and going through some of this can really help to alleviate those type of symptoms. So again, now he's onto the other side. You'll notice Cam also starts to move his foot in and out, rocking it just like a wiper blade on a car, and then that way he's working into the outer part of the hamstring, okay, and then onto the medial part. So at home, looking at around about a minute per side is a great way to start to loosen and help to improve your flexibility through the two hamstrings. Good. Now, as Cam feels like he's had enough there, he's going to pop near the foam roller. He's going to now grab his spiky ball. So at home, grab your spiky ball. If you have the round version, great. Here we're going to start to work through the glute, and specifically the glute med, and address any tightness there. You'll see he's got his legs in a figure 4 position, so one leg over the other, and whatever side he has that knee bent, he's going to be working through that glute on that side. So he's going to roll around, look and find any tight areas. Then he's actually going to do what is known as a trigger point release, where he's going to stop, he's going to hold that position, and he's going to hold it for about 10 to 15 seconds. Now, at home, if you find that as you're doing this, you're not making the face, and you'll know when you do make the face, then you're not on the right spot. So keep working around. Once he's felt that release off, he's then going to roll around again, find the next position, okay, hold it. If this position for you guys at home is a little bit too provocative, you can always just pop that leg down into or onto the ground. You're not going to get as much stretch through the glutes, and it's just going to make it a little bit easier. Work your way up into that figure 4 position. So now that Cam's done it on that side, he's going to work onto the other side. Now the glutes, especially the glute med, its main role is to help stabilize when you are running, so it's very common for it to become really tight through there. If you're sitting at the desk at work as well, you'll find that those areas of the hips will start to become really tight also. So again, same thing, Cam's going to roll around, find any areas that are tight. Now the area that he is working in, okay, it's not going to be right down low into the glute. He's working up along the rim of the glute muscle here, avoiding the back, not going into the back, and then that's where you'll start to find those trigger points. Again, he's holding position, letting it sink in, 10-15 seconds, then he's rolling around finding the next spot. Good. It looks like he's had enough. So the next one we're going to go into is a hip flexor stretch. Now you guys may have done something like this at home, but the hip flexors are very common that they do become tight, and they'll limit hip extension as you are running. Cam's going to hold this position for 20 seconds, and what he's doing here is a half kneeling position where he's focusing on getting that hip extension. He's then thinking about tucking or tilting his hip bone or his sit bone underneath the body to then get that stretch, and then he's reaching up towards the ceiling to really work on getting a little bit of elongation through that lateral pillar. He's now going to switch it on over and go into that position again. One big thing that I want at home for you to avoid doing is just lunging too far forward and overextending through the back. So keeping up nice and straight here, tuck the tailbone in, a little bit higher up for me, Cam, and really try to reach up towards the ceiling there, holding that position. Really think about tucking in underneath, and that tuck is going to get a deeper stretch through the hip flexor and the rec fem. He's going to switch over again. So at home, we're going to want you to complete 3 rounds of, or 3 reps of 20 seconds each time on both sides. Again, this one is a great one just to do throughout the day if you're finding that you are getting tight through the hips from sitting. Good. And switch over again. If you're finding this one's hurting the back knee, pop a pillow or a towel or a mat underneath, and that can help stop that compression through there. Good. That's it, try and get those fingers all the way up. There we go. That's the one. Good. Last lot on both sides. Good. He's going to stretch on up. And Cam's really feeling that come down. He may even be feeling it a little bit further down into the rec fem, which is one of your quad muscles. Good. And last one, switch on over here. Coming forward. Good. Tucking in underneath. That's it, nice, reach up towards the ceiling, get as tall as possible there for this last one. Good, and he's going to finish there. So our last one is for the hamstrings. Now that you've worked through them with the foam roller, you've worked through the glutes, you're going to start to lengthen them out. And Cam's going to go into what's known as an active knee extension, where here he's nice and flat. He's going to be straightening up his leg. He's going to be holding this top position for 2 seconds, and then he's going to come back down. Toes are going to be pointed towards you. Good, and back down. And you can see for Cam, he's very tight through his hamstrings. He's getting about 70 degrees here. What we want to see him try to achieve as straight as possible. And as you guys at home are more consistent with this stretch, you'll notice session by session that your hamstrings start to elongate and that you will become straighter. Cam's hip is at 90 degrees here. He's supporting just behind the hamstring as he completes the movement. He's going through 8 on this side, then he's going to switch on over and go through 8 on the other. Good. Remember to keep those toes pointed down. Keep your head in a nice position as well. As well as that bottom leg here, keep it nice and straight in connection with the ground. Good. Good. There we go. Cam's starting to get the shakes as he's pushing his range limit with each of these reps. Good, keep the toes pointed down. But tight hamstrings as you're running, they can start to cause issues with your run form. So by lengthening them out, getting them as flexible as possible, it's going to be better for your running economy and your running efficiency. Good. So he's coming up to his last couple of reps here, and we can already see that with each rep, he's getting a little bit further each time. Perfect. Great, so that's the 4 mobility exercises that I'm going to get you guys to start off with. Next, we're going to run through some activations as well as some run-specific exercise or some run mechanic exercises to help improve your running economy and efficiency. So we'll run through them next. Great, so the first activation exercise is going to be a standing hip flexion, or what I like to call the Lionel Sanders. We're going to do, in combination with that, a glute med exercise or an isometric exercise up against the wall. Then we're going to follow on with some run mechanics, drilling with some wall holds as well as some pogos at the end of this little section. So at home, I want you to grab a band, make sure it's light, so that you can get a nice high knee drive with this. You're going to place it around the front or your toes. From here, Cam's going to set up in a nice straight position, and here he's going to shift his weight to one side and then really drive up into a high knee position, keeping this knee nice and straight throughout. Good. Driving up, and he's switching that glute on. He's going to hold that for 2 seconds, go back down. Good. And then back up again. He's going to drive up with that knee. Good. He's getting his arms in it as well. Good. 1, 2, back down. Good. He's up. That's it. Get that nice straight position here. Nice strong torso. Good. Back down. 2 more on this side. Good. Think about opposite arm to the knee that is going up, just like if you are running. He's keeping this knee locked back. Nice strong position there, and then he's going to switch on over. So he'll be feeling it in that knee or the hip flexor of the knee that's being driven up. We're going to that one now, into the next side. Good. He's also going to feel it on the glute on the opposite side as it's trying to stabilize you in this position. Good. 2. He's going to go up again. He's got a nice strong knee here. He won't let me push him down. Good. He's got 2 more on this side, driving all the way up. Good. Nice straight leg on that left side. Up, torso nice and tall. Good. So he's going to pop the band off, and he's going to go into the next one, which is the glute med up against the wall. So at home, finding up against the wall, what I want you to do is you're going to start in that high knee position again. You're going to make sure that your hip is away from the wall, and what Cam is doing here is he's just pushing his knee into the wall. You can get his knee up a little bit higher for me there. From here, he's going to be pushing in for 5 seconds, at the same time really switching on the stance leg glute, okay, as he pushes in. He's going to then come back down. After his 5 seconds, he's going to run through that again 5 times 5 seconds on that one side, getting his arms into the position, nice strong torso. Now, if you're not feeling it on that side, on your stance leg side, really think about keeping a nice, strong and stable hip position. Think about squeezing the glute on, get the chest up, as well as straighten that knee, okay? He's got 2 more on this side. Make sure as you start to fatigue, you're not falling into the wall with that hip as well. And Cam's really starting to focus on a couple of key things here for his running technique. High knee, getting the toes up, good shin angle, nice torso, and back down. He's going to switch on over other side now. So Cam can really feel that, that's good. He's going to come up, he's going to get his arms coordinated in the movement as well, good. He's going to bring this leg back a little bit. That's it, come down. And again, he's making sure that his hip isn't touching the wall, it's just the knee pushing in. He's probably pushing in around about 75-80% of his max force pushing in, so it's not a really forceful push. You're just thinking about trying to really engage the glute muscle here as you're doing it. The stronger that we can make the glutes, the more control that you have around there, it's going to improve your running efficiency, as you won't get any shift through the hips. The glutes will be able to control that movement. Good, his last one here. So we'll come back down. And he's going to transition back into our first exercise, the Lionel Sanders, where he's got the band around his toes. Okay, he's going to be nice and strong, tall. Imagine you've got a string up through your head, and he's going to come up into that nice high knee drive. There we go. He's going to hold that for 2 seconds. Good, nice and tall. That's it. Good. He's got 2 more here. Now the light band is probably enough so that you can come higher up with the knee drive. If it's too tight, it won't allow you. Good, switch on over other side. Now these are also, that's it. These are also great ones to do pre-running, just to fire up the glutes, get everything working so that when you are running, you can hit the ground running at speed without any issues. Good. Make sure you keep your knee nice and straight there as you start to fatigue. Good, last one here. That's it. So Cam's glutes are really fired up now. Good. So after that, we're going to go into now some wall holds, which is going to really focus on good running technique and what is known as triple extension. At home, up against the wall, what I want you to do is start in a 45-degree angle. Okay, Cam's going to be here, arms up at shoulder height. Here, what he's going to do is with one side, he's going to drive his knee up. Good. Here, chest up. Okay, looking forwards. Nice straight knee up onto the toes. He's going to hold that for a couple of seconds, come back down. On the same side, he's going to repeat that 5 times, working on that form throughout. So triple extension here, we've got a nice extended hip, straight knee, and then up onto the toes. Come down, we're going to have a look from this side and come up. Cam's got a nice strong knee position here. He doesn't let me push him down. Good. Come back down. He's driving up each time. He's got a nice high toe as well. Good. Just wanting him to get his chest up a little bit more. There we go. So he's not curved. And last one here. That's the one. Good. Think about shining the chest, opening up through there. Pushing into the wall. Good. And relax. He's going to switch over, other side. Now this one again is another one that's harder than it looks. Good. Come up. That's it. He's looking forwards. Nice extended position. Good. Come back down. We go again. Good. Knee back. Just drop down into, there we go. And good, down. We've got 3 more. 2 seconds each time. Good. Looking up. And back down. Now from this position, as we go on, we can always start to add in a few progressions where you're doing switches or loaders and lifts. But this is a really key part of those progressions, getting this position set and holding it in a good position. Good. And last one. Great. So now the Cam's gone through 5 each side there. We're going to go into some double leg pogos. Now, with pogos, what we're focusing on is the stretch shortening that's happening through the Achilles and the calf complex. The key here is that the heels don't touch the ground. So Cam's going to start with his hands on his hips, okay, and up onto the toes. He's then going to start to bounce, so his toes are going to come off, but his heels are not going to touch. We're going to go through 20 seconds here, okay. This is going to really start to wake up the Achilles, the calf complex, and what Cam's starting to think about is, a decrease in his ground contact time. Initially, he's not going for 2 very high bounces, but he's just being consistent. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax. Now, in combination with this, you can always look at using or adding a skipping rope. If you don't have one of those, then this is just the perfect way to do it. Again, the next set that Cam goes through, he's going to think of trying to get a little bit higher with his jumps, not spend as much time on the ground between each one. Okay, we're going to go again in 3, 2, and 1. Good. Good. Heels not touching here. That's it. That's really good. This is really helping the calf, the Achilles, all strengthen up and get you ready for the running that you're going to be doing. 2, 1, and relax there. Good. That's the second. Cam's going to start right up. We're going to go through one last set now. Now, if you're finding that this is a little bit too provocative or sore for the knees, the calf, the Achilles, you can always do a modification where the heels don't, the toes don't come off. They're called double leg pulses. So look and try to modify it if you need to. So we've got our last lot of 20 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and go. Again, Cam's up nice and tall. There we go, good. Getting a little bit of knee bend in each of those reps. Good. 3, 2, and 1 there. Perfect. Good. So that's been it. For Cam, we've woken up his glutes, okay, we've got everything working, we've done some run mechanics drills and then got his calf and Achilles complex warmed up as well. So next we're going to go into some strength that is going to be specific for those muscles that you utilise when you do run. Right, so our run-specific strength exercises are going to focus around the hips, the glutes, the quads. We've also got some calf as well as some adductor isometrics and strengthening that we're going to run through as well. So the first exercises we're going to run through is a rear foot elevated squat with a kettlebell. Okay, at home if you have a power band you can use that as well, and an adductor short lever bridge, and we're going to do a hold with those. So what you'll need is an elevated platform, edge of the couch. You can use a chair to run through these exercises. The first exercise, rear foot elevated squat, I'm going to give Cam the 8 kilo here today, and he's going to hold that up at his chest level. Good. Here he's got a nice hip extension. He's going to be dropping down. He's going to repeat that 8 times on that one side. Good. Here he's focusing on a nice vertical shin angle, not coming forward over the toes too much. Good. And then at the back there, he's got nice hip extension. His leg here is just stabilizing. He's putting a lot of the pressure and the force pushing through his front foot as he goes down. Keeping a nice, straight, strong torso. So this one here, really working the quads at the front, the glute, the hamstring, as well as his core to help stabilize him in that position. So again, Cam's knee isn't coming too far forward. He's dropping back, he's keeping a really nice vertical shin angle and upright torso, pushing through this front heel. Really engaging and strengthening those muscles that are so important for our running. Good. So then Cam is going to go into a side plank position with one of his knees up onto the elevated platform, and he's going to be doing a short lever adductor side hold. Now what we mean by short lever is the lever point from the hips is going to be short. You can always do it in a lengthened or a long lever, which is leg straight. Here he's going to be in a side plank position, bring his hips up off the ground, okay? So, and he's going to hold that there for 15 seconds. His hips come forward, nice straight line between his shoulder all the way to his knee, okay? This bottom leg is not touching the ground. He's got 3 more seconds, 3, 2, 1. After 15 seconds, he then repeats on the other side. So again, the setup, he's got his knee up onto the elevated platform, his other knee just in front, or it can be just behind, and then he comes up and holds into that short lever adductor bridge position. He's really feeling his hamstrings, his adductor starting to really engage and hold him up into that position there. He's got 3, 2, and 1, and come back down. Good. So then we're going to run through that 3 times. So he's got the 12, he's on for the big boy kettlebell. He's going to go into that good rear foot elevated squat position, holding the weight up at his chest level. He comes down, he's pushing through that front heel again. Now, watch his knee here. You can see that it's running nice and straight and in line with his toes. We're not seeing any of that knee coming inward, or what we would call knee valgus, and that's something that I want you to concentrate on at home, making sure it's not. The more that you can train your body as well as strengthen to stop that knee from tracking on in, it's better for you running, and it will limit things such as ITB syndrome or patellofemoral pain that you may have heard of or may have had previously. So that there, as to keep your knee from tracking on in, the things that you can think about there is just shifting your weight to the outer part of your foot a touch, or the other one is thinking at the level of the hips, keeping it in, thinking about tucking that hip in, so then that way you're not flaring it out and it's not allowing the knee to come on in. Good. Cam's working really hard here again. He's focusing on that front foot, pushing through the ground as he drives on up. Good, he's working hard with the 12 kilo here. Good. Now back into the adductor side bridge. This is a really, really good one to get a little bit of load into the adductor tendon itself. Good, he's coming up here. So if you played any change direction sport previously, you may very well have felt adductor type symptoms before, or you might have had a cranky adductor tendon, good, and switch on over. You may be familiar with this exercise, or this exercise might even help to warm up that adductor tendon if you are having issues with it. So again, with the setup, he's got his top knee up onto the bench, nice straight body, he's bringing his hips forward, holding. Now for Cam, that 15 seconds is really good. 3, 2, and 1. At home, if you're finding 15 seconds a little bit too long, you can always drop it back to 10 seconds. If it's a little bit too easy, build it up, go to 20, 25 seconds. Good, back to our rear foot elevated squat here, or Bulgarian squat. Kim's gone back to the 8 kilos because he's working hard. But again, he's still focusing on those same things that we're looking at doing, pushing through to help drive the body up from that end of range position at the bottom. The other modifications you can look at doing, not going down as far if it is giving you any discomfort. If you are getting pain at the back of the knee or the back leg because of the position, you can always look to, instead of having it on a elevated platform, you can do something similar from the ground. Always remembering the same principles, keeping the knee in good position, nice strong torso, pushing through that foot. Good, he's coming up to his last reps now. I'm sure at home you're starting to feel the quad, the glute, everything working. Good, last one. Great work there, Cam. Go through last round of the adductor side bridge. How are you feeling with these ones, Cam?
Oh yeah, good. Yep. Bit of work.
Good. Bring the hips forward, and he's coming up. Hold. Good, that's 5 seconds there. Hold a really good, strong, stable position. He's also really thinking about engaging his core to hold him here. 2, 1, and down. And the last one. Good, he's bringing his hips forward, holding up. It's the last reps of these side bridges. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And come back down. Great work there. So that's really hit the adductors, the quads, the glutes. Our next two, we're going to focus on the calf muscles, or your soleus specifically, and then some hamstring slides to focus on your hamstring. So the first exercise that Cam's going to do is known as a soleus hold. He's going to, up against the wall, go into a wall squat position where he's really focusing on making sure that his feet are far enough in front, that he's got a nice vertical shin angle. In this position, he's then going to come up onto his toes, and this is going to force him to engage his soleus, the deeper part or muscle of the calf, and he's going to hold this here for 20 seconds. Now, he might also feel it in his quads, and that's okay, but in this position, we are getting that soleus activation that we're after. He's going to come in, good. 5, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So next, we're going to go into the hamstring slides. We're going to keep returning to that one in between, but we're going to alternate. So at home, with your slides, pop them on the ground, and you're going to place your heels into the middle of the slides. Good. Cam's going to come down, and he's actually going to place his arms on his shoulders. For a start, what we're going to do is you're going to bridge on up, and you're going to slide out into the outermost position. Now, this position here is where the hamstrings are at their weakness. He's going to drop his hips down, and he's going to slide them back in. He's going to go through 4 of these. What we're really trying to do here is start to strengthen your hamstrings in the outer range. The more strength they will get there, the less likely for things like hamstring strains that you might get from doing your interval work or any of the speed work. Now that he's done 4, if that's a bit too easy for you guys at home, what he's going to actually do is bridge up. He's going to go out into as far as he can tolerate, and then he's going to come back up whilst keeping his hips in. Good. And he's going to hold his hips up. He's going to do that again. Now, Cam might be feeling like he needs the cramp here, especially as he comes back. He's got 2 more. So guys, at home, adjust as you need. If you need to modify it, make it a little bit easier. You don't bring the legs back in whilst keeping the hips up. You just go out, good, and then drop there. How's that feeling, Cam?
It's hard.
Good. So we're working him hard there. Pop the slides to the side, go back into the Soleil's hold position. He's going to come down, back nice and flat. Good. He comes up onto his toes here. Good. He's going to hold that again 20 seconds. A lot of the times you might find that if you don't feel it in the calves, play around with your foot position. It may very well be that they're too far back or too far forward. Or the other thing is, with your wall squat setup, you might be a little bit too low. So just bring up out of it. 2 and 1. Good. We're going to go back into this one. Actually, this set, what we're going to do, we're going to do a alternative, a modification, so that if you don't have the slides at home, you can do something similar. And these are called bridge walkouts, where Cam is going to start up, he's going to bridge, he's going to do 4 little steps, 2 each side, out into a position, and then he's going to bring them back. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. He's going to keep his hips up, and then he's going to go again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then he's going to come back. 3, 4. Good. Just want him to bring his legs a little bit closer together for me. There we go. So he's not going out too wide. And good. And you'll start to know sort of where your range sits in terms of how far you can go out, and adjust as needed. If you're finding that you go too far out, it's getting a little bit too tough, then just don't go as far. But the further you do push out, the more strength you're going to develop in that outer range. Good. Again, Cam's making sure he's not overstraining through his back here. He's got a nice position. If you're finding it too difficult with the arms folded, arms down by the side. Good. There you go, he's really starting to fatigue. His hamstrings are working hard here. He might have a little bit of DOMS tomorrow for his weekly run. Good. And he's coming back there, good. This is another great one without you really knowing, is the core is starting to really engage to help hold this position. The more that you can try to avoid shifting through each side and keeping the hips nice and stable, the more that your core is going to be engaged. And I'm pretty sure that's 8 there, Kim. You might have done a couple extra ones because you enjoyed it so much. So then we go into our last set of both of these, the Soleil's holds again. He comes down, nice straight back. He's going to hold on up, 20 seconds again. Now at home, same principle applies, 20 seconds. If you're finding that's a little bit difficult, bring it back down to 15, 10. If it's too easy, 25, 30, or you can start to add a little bit of weight in. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Cam's going to go back into and use the slides for this last set. He's going to go 4 again, just sliding out and dropping the hips down, and then 4 where he's going to go all the way out and back. So he's bridging up, good, sliding out, and good, coming back in. So again, very important for us as runners to strengthen our hamstrings, especially in that outer range, and that's what we're trying to do here. Good, and then he's going to slide back in. Now he's under a lot of fatigue. He might get the shakes, he might even cramp. Good, last 2. These are great ones for, as well, the hamstring or proximal hamstring tendons, to help really strengthen them, adapt, and increase their capacity also. Good. And he's done. Good. So that's our session today, guys. We've ran through a little bit of mobility that's focused on around the hips, the hip flexor, the hamstrings, some activations that have been great for the glutes, as well as some run-specific wall holds, and then our strength is focused on those key muscles that are important for your running efficiency. I hope you enjoyed it, guys.